If you're getting licensed as a contractor in Arizona, one of the requirements is to purchase a surety bond called a contractor license bond. And if this is your first time getting a contractor license, the idea of a surety bond is probably pretty new to you. And that's why in this short video, I'm going to help you understand a fast overview of the Arizona contractor license classifications, what a contractor license bond is and why it's required, the bonding amounts and prices for each classification, and how to purchase your bond for the lowest possible price. The Arizona Registrar of Contractors, as you probably know, called AZROC, has four main license classifications or types. These are residential general contractors, residential specialty contractors, commercial general contractors, which includes general engineering contractors, and commercial specialty contractors. Arizona is kind of a unique state in a sense that they allow dual licensure. This just allows you to get two licenses and kind of group it into one process. So for example, you can get a residential specialty contractor license and a commercial specialty contractor license all in one application process, just making it a little bit easier. But the bottom line is this: no matter what license you're going after, all contractors in Arizona have to get this contractor license bond. And again, if you're brand new, if this is your first time getting licensed, you're probably wondering, what is a contractor license bond? A contractor license bond is a surety bond, and a surety bond is a type of insurance that acts as a guarantee that you're going to do pretty much three things. You're going to follow all Arizona contractor building codes, regulations, and laws. You're going to serve your customers with good business practices and ethics, and you're going to complete all projects according to the contract that you signed. Think about it like this: Arizona, or AZROC, really wants quality, reputable contractors out there doing good work and serving the community. And the contractor license bond is one of the primary ways that they can hold contractors accountable to the promises that they're making to their customers. You see, it's really unfortunate, but every single year there's going to be a handful of licensed contractors who will make poor decisions and purposely and financially harm their customers just to make more profit. Examples of these bad decisions and fraudulent decisions that they're going to make are failing to complete a project, failing to start a project after collecting a deposit, swapping out cheaper materials on a project to save money without the customer knowing, refusing to pay subcontractors for work completed. If a contractor is found guilty of any of these poor decisions, the customer or the subcontractors or both can make a claim against the contractor license bond for financial recourse, but only up to the amount of the bond. So the bond amount is the maximum amount of financial protection afforded to your customers. So while Arizona does require every contractor to be bonded, the bond amounts are going to vary based on two factors: the type of license you're getting, the expected gross volume or revenue per license for the year. So this bond amount is one of the two major factors that determines the bond price that you're going to pay. How is a contractor license bond price determined? A contractor license bond, or the price of a contractor license bond, is determined by a rate quoted from a surety. A surety is just the insurance company that underwrites surety bonds or contractor license bonds. And every surety is going to do their own independent analysis of the applicant, and they're typically going to base it on these factors: the personal credit of the owner and or owners, the business and industry experience of the owners, any prior claims from previous bonds if they exist. This rate multiplied by your specific bond amount is going to be the price you pay for your contractor license bond. The thing is, the rates quoted by sureties, because they do their own independent analysis, are going to vary greatly. So you could potentially save hundreds of dollars. And when you think about this, this is money that you can put towards application fees, examination fees, fingerprint fees, or any other expense that you need to get your business up and running. Here's how to save hundreds of dollars on your contractor license bond. All right, to save the most money possible, it's best to use a specialized surety agency like Surety Bonds Direct. You see, a specialized surety agency, they work with multiple A-rated sureties. Essentially what's going to happen is we'll price shop for you. We'll collect all the different rates, and we're going to deliver the lowest possible rate to you, which is going to be the lowest possible price. So let's look at the actual required bond amounts and some real pricing so that you know what you can kind of expect. Just remember that the pricing and the bond amounts, they're based on the type of license that you get and the expected gross volume for the year. Let's start with residential specialty contractors. If your expected gross volume is less than $375 for the year, your bond amount is $4,250. If you get a dual license or dual specialty license, the residential specialty paired with the commercial specialty, and you're below the minimums, which is $375,000 for residential, $150,000 gross volume for commercial, your bond amount is $6,750. I bring these bonds up first because At Surety Bonds Direct, we have already secured low fixed prices with zero credit check for these bonds. So if one of these two bonds are what you need, you can literally buy it today, get it issued within 1 business day. Let me show you some actual pricing so you know what you're going to pay for these bonds. For the residential specialty contractor bond of $4,250, you can purchase a bond for $123 for a 1-year term. We also offer 2 and 3 year terms. A link will be in the description where you can go look those up. For the dual commercial specialty and residential specialty bond of $6,750, you can purchase a bond for $136 for a 1-year term. Again, we also offer the 2 and 3 year terms, and you can save a little bit of money by purchasing a longer term. Residential specialty contractors who are projecting over $375,000 for the year have a bond amount of $7,500. Residential general contractors, if the gross volume projected is less than $750,000, your bond amount is $9,000. If it's greater than $750,000, your bond amount is $15,000. Commercial specialty contractors, there's a lot to go through, so I'm going to put this up on a slide and let's get into it. If your projected volume is $150,000 or less, your bond amount is $2,500. If it's over $150,000 but less than $500,000, your bond amount is $7,000. If your projected gross volume is $500,000 but less than $1 million, your bond amount is $17,500. If it's over $1 million but less than $5 million, your bond amount is $25,000. If it's over $5 million but less than $10 million, your bond amount is $37,500. And if your projected volume is over $10 million, you have a $50,000 bond amount. I know this is a lot of numbers, but let's look at one more, the commercial general contractors. And just remember, you can find all of these bond amounts in a nice grid from the link in the description, so make sure to check that out. You can always skip ahead if you need to. If your gross volume is $150,000 or less, your bond amount is $5,000. If it's over $150,000 but less than $500,000, your bond amount is $15,000. If your gross volume is $500,000 or greater than that, but less than $1 million, your bond amount is $25,000. If your gross volume is over $1 million but less than $5 million, it's $50,000 bond. If it's over $5 million but less than $10 million, your bond amount is $75,000. And finally, if you project over $10 million, your bond amount is $100,000. For commercial general contractors, if your bond amount is $50,000 or less, Surety Bonds Direct has already could provide you with an instant price with zero credit check. The minimum price is $100, but your price will be 0.5% of your bond amount, again, with the minimum of $100. All right, again, that was a lot. Check the link in the description. It makes it a lot easier. But just remember, except for the residential specialty and the commercial specialty at the minimum level, which is a fixed price bond, and the general contractor, $50,000 and below, which is also a fixed price instant price bond, every other bond requires this custom quote. And if you remember earlier, we said custom quotes are based on the credit of the owners, industry and business experience, and any prior bond claims. Let's look at some examples. We'll use a $9,000 bond, and the rates I'm going to show are from really good to about average. So for a $9,000 residential general contractor bond, a 1% rate would cost $90, a 2% rate would cost $180, a 3% rate would cost $270, and a 4% rate would cost $360. Remember this, Surety Bonds Direct can offer you free pricing. We'll go price shop for you and get you the lowest possible price. There's no obligation to purchase. So the best thing to do is just go request a free quote. That way you can find your pricing and all of these numbers, which are actually it's overwhelming in Arizona. You'll just get what you need, and that's all you need to plan for. How to purchase your bond. Purchasing your bond is as easy as filling out an online checkout form. It takes 90 seconds. The minute your purchase goes through, our issuance team will get the correct bond form, fill it out appropriately, get all the necessary signatures, seals, and power of attorney so that your bond is accepted. AZROC allows us to email the bond to you so you can actually get it much faster, but you will be responsible for printing it out, signing it, and submitting it with your application packet. Renewing your contractor license bond. Nearly all Arizona contractor bonds have a bond term of 1 year or 12 months, except for the bonds that we mentioned earlier, which would be the residential specialty contractor and the commercial specialty contractor. There you have the option to get a 1, 2, or 3 year bond term. This is another reason why working with a specialized surety agency like Surety Bonds Direct makes a lot of sense, because as your bond expiration date approaches, your bond specialist will call you 30 to 45 days in advance just to remind you that your expiration is approaching and help get the renewal premium paid on time. Once you pay your renewal premium, your bond remains active. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to submit any extra forms or bond forms. Getting bonded is easy. So as you can see, understanding a surety bond or a contractor bond is not that difficult. But don't push this off to the last thing. You don't want your application to be delayed because you don't have the surety bond yet. And remember, it can take 1 or 2 days. And if you do need the bond mailed to you for any reason, that's going to be a little bit extra delay. So get it done now. The best thing to do is just get your pricing today. The price quotes from Surety Bonds Direct are good for 30 days. That way you at least know exactly what you have to pay, and then you can plan accordingly. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. I'll personally answer you. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to get you pointed in the right direction. Do me a favor and hit that like button. It's going to help YouTube put this video in front of other Arizona contractors so they too can understand the bonds or the bonding process. Thank you for watching. I really hope this video helped you.